Guys, today we're going to get some definitions for some things that deal with circles, okay? And some of these you may have seen before, some of them may be new. So we're just going to talk about these and work through them here in this video. These are just some definitions that are going to lay the groundwork for us to be able to work some problems with them, okay? So the first one we're going to talk about is just the definition of a circle. And you guys know what a circle is, but probably it's never been defined like this before. The set of all points that are equidistant from a given point. And of course, you know what a circle looks like. It looks like, I'm going to go down here. It looks like this. And this center point right here is an equal distance from every single point all the way around this circle. Okay? So that's what we're talking about when we talk about the definition of a circle. The next definition is the center of the circle. And that's the given point that defines a circle. So the center of the circle, we've referred to it recently as HK. We would define it using the coordinate plane, okay? The next definition is for diameter. And you've seen that one before. We've even talked about it in here. And that is the segment that contains the center of the circle and has both endpoints on the circle. So like for instance here, from C down to A, that is the diameter of this circle. It's all the way across the circle. The next one is for radius. And the radius is the segment that has one endpoint at the center and the other endpoint on the circle. So for instance, from O to D, that would be the radius of this circle. Or from O to C, or from O to B, or from O to A. Those would all be considered a radius for this circle. Now, all of these terms that we've talked about so far, you've seen before and you're familiar with. Some of the things that we're about to talk about might be the new stuff. So for definition number 5, it is the central angle. The central angle. And that is an angle that has a vertex in the center of the circle. Okay, an angle with the vertex in the center of the circle. So in other words, an angle with its vertex at the center of the circle would be like angle BOD, because that's the center of the circle. Okay, here, angle BOD. So that would be a central angle. Okay, the next one is a minor arc. A minor arc. So that is an arc that is smaller than a semicircle. That means it's less than 180 degrees. Now, when we talk about an arc, what I want to point out to you is that an arc is like this right here. This is an arc, okay? And you'll see here that I've told you in this example, this one is 58 degrees from C to D. That arc is 58 degrees. So how you would say that and write it is we would say like arc, and we'd label it like that, and then we put the C and the D under it. So arc CD. Now, a minor arc is an arc that's less than 180. So we can see here that CD is 58 degrees. That is less than 180. So this would be considered a minor arc. The next one is a major arc. A major arc. Okay, a major arc is an arc that is larger than a semicircle. So it's more than 180 degrees. Okay, so for instance, a major arc down here might be all the way from A all the way around to that D. Because, of course, from A to C would be 180 degrees. But then if we go on to D, that's more than 180. So that would be considered a major arc. And we would label that as A, B, C, D. Or you could just do A to D. Okay? So we would label this as arc A, B, C, D. That means it includes all the way around to from A to D. Okay? A, B, C, D. And that would be a major arc. Okay, for number 8, that is what we call an adjacent arc. Those are arcs of the same circle that have exactly one point in common. So, for instance, I could say adjacent arcs here would be arc CD and arc BC. So I could say like arc BC and arc CD. Notice they share this point C right here. Arc BC and arc CD are adjacent to each other. And remember, just think about what the word adjacent means. The word adjacent means side by side. So when you have adjacent arcs, that means that those arcs are side by side, okay? Number 9 definition you already know, and that is for a semicircle. So a semicircle is half a circle. It measures 180 degrees, okay? That's a semicircle. And then our last definition we're going to talk about is congruent arcs. And congruent arcs are arcs that have the same measure and are in the same circle or in congruent circles. If we know we have 2 different circles and those 2 circles are congruent, then we could say that you have congruent arcs. So they either measure the same in the same circle, or that you have congruent circles and they therefore measure the same. Okay, those are our definitions. So if you have any questions about any of those, let me know.